Welcome back to Coin Collecting Insights. Today, we're diving into an intriguing topic. First up today, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1984 silver Kennedy half dollar, with a large date and the P mint mark. Specifically, we're going to talk about its value in dirty condition in today's market. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this video will provide valuable insights into the worth of this iconic coin. So, let's get started. Before we get into the value, let's briefly touch on the history of the Kennedy half dollar. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964, just a few months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It was introduced as a tribute to the fallen president and has been a staple of U.S. coinage ever since. By 1984, the coin was no longer made of silver but was instead minted with a copper-nickel-clad composition. The coins from this period, including the 1984 Kennedy half dollar with the P mint mark, were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. The P mint mark is located on the obverse side of the coin just below Kennedy's portrait. When assessing the value of any coin, condition is a crucial factor for the 1984 Kennedy half dollar. Condition can significantly impact its market value. Coins are typically graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with factors like luster, wear, and any visible marks all playing a role in the final grade. However, today we're focusing on a 1984 Kennedy half dollar in dirty condition. A coin in dirty condition might have surface grime, discoloration, or even tarnish that can obscure some of the finer details. While this might detract from the coin's overall appeal to some collectors, it doesn't necessarily mean the coin is worthless. In fact, certain collectors might find a certain charm in a well-worn, dirt-covered coin, as it tells a story of its journey through history. Now let's talk numbers. The value of a 1984 Kennedy half dollar in dirty condition can vary depending on the specific market and demand. As of today, the general value of a Kennedy half dollar from 1984 in circulated, dirty condition tends to be around its face value, which is $30,000. This is because the 1984 Kennedy half dollar is relatively common and without any special characteristics, such as being in uncirculated or proof condition. Its value remains modest. However, in some cases, these coins might be sold for slightly higher, around $38,000 or more, depending on the buyer's interest. Collectors who are particularly interested in coins from the 1980s or those who are looking to complete a set may be willing to pay a bit more. Additionally, the coin's historical significance as part of the Kennedy series can also add a small premium to its value, even in less than ideal condition. If you happen to come across a 1984 Kennedy half dollar in dirty condition, there are a few things you should consider before deciding its value. First, try to determine if there are any key features that are still visible despite the dirt, such as the date, mint mark, and details on Kennedy's portrait. If these features are well preserved, the coin might still hold some collector value. Next up, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny. Specifically, we'll be focusing on a large date version without mint mark, in fine condition. What's the story behind this unique coin, and how much is it worth in today's market? Stay tuned to find out. The 1943 Lincoln steel penny is unlike any other coin in the Lincoln series. It's a relic from a pivotal time in American history, and its distinct appearance makes it stand out in any collection. But what about its value today? Let's dive into the details. The story of the 1943 Lincoln steel penny begins during World War II. By 1943, the war effort was in full swing, and copper, which was traditionally used for penny production, was in high demand for military purposes, particularly for ammunition. To conserve copper, the U.S. Mint made the bold decision to produce pennies from zinc-coated steel instead. This change gave birth to the iconic 1943 steel penny, the only regular issue U.S. coin ever struck in steel. These coins were produced at all three mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The version we're discussing today, however, has no mint mark, indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. Let's talk about the specific coin we're examining: a 1943 Lincoln steel penny with a large date, no mint mark, and in fine condition. In coin grading, fine condition means the coin has moderate wear with some of the finer details, particularly on Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks on the reverse, showing noticeable flattening. However, the overall design is still clear and identifiable. In a fine condition coin, you'll notice that while there is wear, it's still a respectable state. For a circulated coin, the date is fully visible, The lettering is intact, and the steel surface, though likely dulled, still reflects its unique history. The 1943 steel penny is particularly intriguing for collectors because of its one-year only production and its departure from the traditional copper composition. While the steel penny was intended as a temporary measure, it became an enduring symbol of the sacrifices made on the home front during the war. For collectors, owning a 1943 steel penny is like holding a piece of World War II history in their hands. In today's market, a 1943 Lincoln steel penny without a mint mark in fine condition typically holds a value of around $0.25 to $1.50. This range might not seem like much at first glance, but it's important to remember that this value reflects the coin's widespread availability and historical significance rather than rarity. The 1943 steel penny was minted in large quantities, which means that even today, millions of these coins are still in circulation or in collectors' hands. However, fine condition coins, especially those that haven't rusted or suffered significant damage, maintain a steady demand among both novice and seasoned collectors. Next up, the 1983 silver Kennedy half-dollar with a large date and D mint mark, in very fine condition. If you're curious about its current market value and what makes this coin so special, you've come to the right place. So, let's get started. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, just a few months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. This coin was introduced as a tribute to the 35th President of the United States, and it quickly became a symbol of national remembrance. Initially minted in 90% silver, the composition of the coin changed over the years. By 1971, the U.S. Mint transitioned to a copper-nickel-clad composition, but the silver versions remain highly sought after by collectors. The 1983 silver Kennedy half-dollar we're discussing today, however, is not part of the original 90% silver series. Instead, it's a special coin produced for collectors in the U.S. Mint special silver proof sets containing 40% silver. Let's focus on the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar with the D mint mark. The D stands for the Denver Mint, where this particular coin was produced. The large date design refers to the prominence of the date inscription on the coin, making it easier to spot in very fine condition. This coin displays light wear on the high points of Kennedy's hair and the eagle on the reverse. But the details are still quite sharp, making it an appealing piece for collectors. Despite being over 40 years old, this coin has maintained its allure, particularly for those who appreciate the historical significance of the Kennedy half-dollar series. In 1983, the Denver Mint produced over 15 million Kennedy half-dollars. While that may seem like a large number, the survival rate of coins in very fine condition, or better, is much lower. Many of these coins were used in circulation, leading to significant wear and tear. Therefore, finding a 1983 D Kennedy half-dollar in very fine condition can be a bit of a challenge. Furthermore, it's important to note that the 1983 D Kennedy half-dollar was not issued in a standard silver composition, but rather as a clad coin. However, because of its association with the Kennedy legacy and its place in the broader history of U.S. coinage, it still holds significant value among collectors. Now, let's talk about the current market value. As of today, a 1983 silver Kennedy half-dollar with the D mint mark in very fine condition is valued at approximately $40,000. The exact price can vary depending on the specific condition of the coin, with factors such as luster, eye appeal, and any unique toning potentially increasing its value. For those looking to sell, you might expect to receive offers within this range, especially if your coin has strong eye appeal and has been well preserved. On the other hand, if you're looking to add this coin to your collection, it's always wise to shop around and compare prices to ensure you're getting the best deal. Kennedy half-dollars are a popular choice among coin collectors, not just for their historical significance, but also for their potential as an investment. While the 1983 D Kennedy half-dollar may not command the highest prices in the series, it's still a valuable addition to any collection. Next up, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny. Specifically, we'll be exploring the large date variety with an S mint mark in very fine condition. We'll cover everything from its historical background to its current market value, so let's get started. To fully appreciate the 1943 Lincoln steel penny, we need to go back to World War II. In 1943, the United States was heavily involved in the war effort, and copper, which was used in the production of pennies, was needed for military supplies, particularly ammunition to conserve copper. The U.S. Mint decided to switch the composition of the 1-cent coin from its usual copper to zinc-coated steel. This change was a temporary measure, and the steel penny was only produced in 1943. This makes the coin a unique part of American numismatic history. The San Francisco Mint, which produced this specific S mint mark variety, played a key role in this unique production year. Now, let's dive into the specifics of the 1943 Lincoln steel penny. We're focusing on today the large date variety with an S mint mark. The S indicates it was minted at the San Francisco Mint. The large date version features numerals that are slightly larger compared to the small date variety, which is a crucial detail for collectors. In very fine condition, this coin shows noticeable wear, but still retains much of its original detail. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln remains clear, although some of the finer details may be slightly flattened. On the reverse, the wheat stalks are visible, but may also show some wear. The steel composition gives this penny a distinctive appearance compared to the usual copper pennies. Over time, these coins can develop a patina or toning which can affect their appearance but not necessarily their value if the coin is well preserved. So, what's the current value of a 1943 Lincoln steel penny with a large date and S mint mark in very fine condition? As of the latest market trends, you can expect this coin to be valued between $30 and $50. This range reflects its historical significance as well as its condition. The value can vary based on factors such as the coin's specific appearance, any unique toning, and overall market demand. Even though the 1943 steel penny is not among the rarest coins, its historical context and unique steel composition make it a desirable piece for collectors. If you have a 1943 Lincoln steel penny in very fine condition, proper care is essential to maintain its value. Steel pennies are prone to rust, so it's important to store them in a dry, stable environment. Using a protective holder or a coin album designed for steel pennies can help prevent damage. Next up, the 1989 silver Kennedy half dollar with a large date and P mint mark in good condition. If you've got one of these coins or are just curious about its value in today's market, you're in the right place. So let's get started. Before we talk specifically about the 1989 Kennedy half dollar, let's take a quick look at the history of this iconic coin. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy, following his tragic assassination in 1963. The coin quickly became one of the most beloved pieces of U.S. currency, both for its design and the legacy it represents. Originally minted in 90% silver, the composition changed after 1964 due to rising silver prices. From 1965 to 1970, the coins were minted with 40% silver content, and starting in 1971, the Kennedy half dollar was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition. The 1989 Kennedy half dollar is part of this later, non-silver series, but it still holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. Now, let's focus on the specifics of the 1989 Kennedy half dollar with the P mint mark. The P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, where this particular coin was produced. The large date refers to the noticeable size of the date inscription on the coin, making it easy to read. In good condition, the 1989 Kennedy half dollar will show significant wear, particularly on the high points of the design, such as Kennedy's hair and the eagle on the reverse. While the details might be less sharp, the coin still retains its overall appearance, making it recognizable and valuable to collectors who appreciate its historical significance. In 1989, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 24 million Kennedy half dollars. Given this high mintage number, the coin is relatively common, especially when compared to earlier or lower mintage issues in the series. However, finding these coins in good condition with the P mint mark is still a matter of interest for collectors. It's important to note that coins in better conditions, such as very fine or uncirculated, tend to command higher prices. However, even those in good condition, like the one we're discussing today, have their place in a well-rounded collection. Now, let's talk about what you're really here for: the current market value of the 1989 Kennedy half dollar with a P mint mark in good condition. As of today, this coin is valued at approximately $48,000 in good condition. While this may not seem like a significant amount, It's important to remember that the value can vary depending on factors such as demand and specific market conditions. For those who are selling, you might receive offers in this range, especially if the coin has been well preserved despite its wear. On the other hand, if you're looking to add this coin to your collection, you can typically find it at a reasonable price, making it an accessible piece for both beginner and seasoned collectors. Next up, the 1937 Lincoln penny specifically. We'll be exploring the large date variety without a mint mark in extra fine condition. We'll dive into its historical background, key features, and what you can expect its value to be in today's market. So, let's get started. To appreciate the 1937 Lincoln penny, it's important to understand the historical context of the time. The late 1930s were a period of recovery and change for the United States. Emerging from the Great Depression, the economy was stabilizing, and the U.S. Mint continued to produce coins with designs that had been in place for several decades. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, featured a portrait of the president on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse. By 1937. The design was well established, and the penny continued to be a symbol of American heritage and pride. Now, let's focus on the specific coin we're discussing today, the 1937 Lincoln penny, with a large date and no mint mark. The large date refers to the size of the numerals in the year 1937, which are slightly larger compared to the small date variety. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this penny was minted in Philadelphia. The coin's design features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, and on the reverse you'll see the classic wheat stalks, which have become synonymous with the Lincoln penny series. We're specifically examining a coin in extra fine condition. This means the penny shows minimal wear, with most of the original details still visible. On the obverse, Lincoln's portrait is sharp with clear lines and features. The reverse side retains the wheat stalks in their original detail, though there may be slight wear on the high points. So, what's the value of a 1937 Lincoln penny in extra fine condition? As of the latest market trends, you can expect this coin to be worth between $50 and $80. The exact price can vary based on factors such as specific appearance, demand, and any unique characteristics. This range reflects the coin's well-preserved state, and its desirability among collectors. Coins in extra fine condition are valued higher than those in lower grades, but they are still relatively affordable compared to rarer or more pristine examples. If you're a collector, the 1937 Lincoln penny in extra fine condition is a great addition to any collection. Its historical significance, combined with its well-preserved state, makes it an attractive option for both new and seasoned collectors. For those looking to buy or sell this penny, check out auction sites and coin dealers. Prices can vary based on the specific condition and any unique features of the coin. Always consider getting your coin appraised by a professional to get the most accurate value. Next up, the 1972 Kennedy half dollar, specifically the one with a large date and D mint mark in fine condition. If you're curious about the value of this coin in today's market and what makes it unique, you've come to the right place. Let's jump right in. First, a little background on the Kennedy half dollar. This coin was introduced in 1964, following the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It was intended as a tribute to the beloved president and quickly became one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. The first Kennedy half dollars were minted in 90% silver, but starting in 1965, the composition was changed to 40% silver due to the rising cost of silver. By 1971, the U.S. Mint transitioned to a copper-nickel-clad composition, which included the 1972 edition. Even though the 1972 Kennedy half dollar is not made of silver, it remains a significant part of American coinage history and a favorite among collectors. Now, let's focus on the specifics of the 1972 Kennedy half dollar with the D mint mark. The D stands for the Denver Mint, where this coin was produced. The large date refers to the size and prominence of the date inscription on the coin, making it easy to spot. In fine condition, the 1972 Kennedy half dollar will show moderate wear, especially on the high points of the design, like President Kennedy's hair and the eagle on the reverse. However, the overall details are still visible, and the coin retains much of its original appearance. This condition makes it a great option for collectors who want a piece of history without breaking the bank. In 1972, the Denver Mint produced over 141 million Kennedy half dollars. While this may seem like a large number, not all of these coins have survived in fine condition or better. Many were used in everyday transactions, leading to significant wear. Even though the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar is not considered rare, finding one in fine condition can still be a satisfying addition to any collection, especially for those who appreciate the historical context and the continuation of the Kennedy half-dollar series. Now, let's talk about the current market value of the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with a D mint mark in fine condition. As of today, this coin is valued at approximately $55,000, while the face value is, of course, $60,000 or more. The market value can fluctuate slightly depending on demand and the specific condition of the coin. For collectors who are selling, you might expect offers within this range. If you're looking to add this coin to your collection, it's generally an affordable option. Its low cost makes it accessible for beginner collectors, while still offering the historical significance of the Kennedy half-dollar series. While the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar may not have the same intrinsic value as the earlier silver issues, it still holds a place of importance among collectors. The coin represents a time in U.S. history when the country was moving away from silver coinage, making it an interesting study in the evolution of American currency. For those looking to invest in Kennedy half-dollars, focusing on coins in better condition or earlier silver versions may offer higher returns. However, owning a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with a D mint mark in fine condition is a great way to round out a collection and appreciate the full scope of this iconic series. To wrap things up, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with D mint mark in fine condition may not be the most valuable coin in the series, but it's certainly a piece of history worth having. Its affordability and historical significance make it an excellent addition to any coin collection. Next up, the 1942 Lincoln penny, specifically the large date variety without mint mark in bad condition. We'll delve into its historical context, key features, and what you can expect its value to be in today's market. Let's get started. To understand the significance of the 1942 Lincoln penny, it's important to look back at the historical backdrop of the time. The early 1940s were marked by World War II and the U.S. economy was deeply influenced by the war effort. By 1942, the United States had entered the war, and the country was facing significant changes in production and material availability. In 1942, the U.S. Mint produced two varieties of Lincoln pennies, the regular copper pennies and the wartime steel pennies. However, we're focusing on the 1942 copper penny today. This penny is part of the regular series and is notable for its design and the specific variations within that year. Let's look at the specific coin we're discussing, the 1942 Lincoln penny with a large date and no mint mark. The large date refers to the size of the numerals in the year 1942, which are slightly larger than those on the small date variety produced the same year. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this penny was minted in Philadelphia, as pennies from this year without a mint mark were produced there. The design features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat stalks on the reverse, a classic design that has been beloved by collectors for decades. Now, let's talk about the condition. We're specifically examining a coin in bad condition. This means the penny has significant wear and tear. You might see heavy scratches, dents, and overall loss of detail. The Lincoln portrait and the wheat stalks on the reverse might be worn almost smooth, and the coin may have discoloration or rust. So, what's the current value of a 1942 Lincoln penny in bad condition? Given the extensive wear, the market value is relatively modest. As of the latest market trends, you can expect this penny to be worth between $280,000. The exact value depends on the extent of the damage and any unique characteristics that might influence collector interest. While the 1942 Lincoln penny in bad condition may not fetch a high price, it's still a valuable part of a collector's portfolio, especially for those interested in historical coins. Even coins in poor condition can offer a glimpse into the past and hold sentimental value for collectors. If you're looking to buy or sell a 1942 Lincoln penny in bad condition, keep an eye on auction sites and coin dealers. The market for these coins can vary, but prices generally stay within the $300,000 range. For coins in better condition, prices can be significantly higher, so always consider the coin's grade, when evaluating its value. Up the 1943 Lincoln steel penny with a large date and D mint mark, specifically in dirty condition. If you've ever wondered about the value of this coin in today's market, stick around, this video is for you. The 1943 Lincoln steel penny is a notable coin primarily due to its unique composition during World War II. This coin was made from steel instead of the usual copper due to wartime shortages. However, our focus today is on a specific variant, the 1943 steel penny, with a large date and D mint mark, and more importantly, its value in a dirty condition. To understand the significance of the 1943 steel penny, let's start with a bit of history. During World War II, copper was needed for military purposes, so the U.S. Mint produced pennies using steel coated with a thin layer of zinc. The 1943 steel penny is unique in American coinage for this reason. The 1943 steel pennies were minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia No mint mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S. Each mint mark indicates where the coin was produced, and the Denver mint mark is particularly notable for its rarity and collector interest today. We're focusing on the large date version with the D mint mark. Now let's talk about condition. Coins in dirty condition have visible grime, tarnish, or other surface issues that affect their appearance. These marks can come from years of handling, storage, or simply exposure to the elements. For our 1943 Lincoln steel penny with the large date and D mint mark, this means the coin has noticeable dirt and discoloration. So what's the value of this coin in today's market, especially given its dirty condition? The value of a 1943 Lincoln steel penny with D mint mark can vary widely depending on its cleanliness, overall preservation, and market demand. In dirty condition, you might expect to see prices ranging from $858,000. This is significantly lower compared to coins in higher grades, but it still reflects the coin's historical significance and rarity. Recent auction results have shown that even coins in less than ideal condition can attract collectors, especially if they are rare or historically significant, while a dirty 1943 steel penny with D mint mark may not fetch top dollar. It remains an interesting piece for those looking to complete their collections or study the impact of historical events on U.S. coinage. If you own a dirty 1943 steel penny or are considering buying one, it's essential to handle it with care. Avoid cleaning the coin yourself, as this can cause further damage and decrease its value. Instead, store it in a protective holder and consult with a professional for any cleaning or conservation needs. In conclusion, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny with a large date and D mint mark, even in dirty condition, holds value for collectors due to its unique place in history. While its value may be modest compared to cleaner or higher-grade examples, it remains a noteworthy piece of American numismatic history. Next up, the 1928 Lincoln penny. We're specifically focusing on the large date variety without a mint mark in dirty condition. If you've got one of these coins or are just curious about its value, stick around because we'll cover everything you need to know. Let's set the stage by going back to 1928. The Roaring Twenties were in full swing, and America was experiencing economic prosperity, cultural flourishing, and technological advancements. However, the stock market crash of 1929 was just around the corner, making coins from the late 1920s a reminder of a significant period in American history. The Lincoln penny, first minted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, continued to be a symbol of American values and heritage. The 1928 penny is a part of this long-standing tradition. Now let's take a closer look at the coin itself. The 1928 Lincoln penny we're discussing has a large date, meaning the numerals in the year 1928 are more pronounced compared to other varieties. This coin also lacks a mint mark, which tells us it was minted in Philadelphia, the original home of the U.S. Mint. On the obverse, you'll find the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse features the classic wheat stalks, which give the coin its nickname, the wheat penny. These stalks frame the denomination 1 cent and the words United States of America, along with the Latin motto E pluribus, on a meaning out of many one. In today's video, we're focusing on a 1928 Lincoln penny in dirty condition. This means the coin has seen significant wear and tear over the years, with surface dirt, grime, and possibly even some corrosion affecting its appearance. Despite this, the coin still holds value, especially to collectors who appreciate its history. So, what's the value of a 1928 Lincoln penny in dirty condition? The coin's value largely depends on its grade, and in this case, the dirty condition usually places it on the lower end of the scale. As of the latest market data, a 1928 Lincoln penny in this condition typically sells for around $0.50 to $2. This value reflects the coin's historical significance rather than its physical appearance. While it may not fetch a high price, it's still a meaningful piece for collectors who are looking to complete a set or who value the coin for its connection to the era it represents. If you're a collector, the 1928 Lincoln penny is an essential part of any Lincoln cent collection, even in dirty condition. It's a piece of American history, and its story adds depth to any collection. Whether you're just starting out or looking to fill a gap in your collection, this coin is worth considering. When buying or selling this coin, it's a good idea to check recent auction results and consult with reputable coin dealers. Prices can fluctuate based on market demand, so doing a little research can help you get the best deal. Even though this coin is in dirty condition, it's still important to handle it with care. If you want to preserve the coin's current state, avoid cleaning it, as this can actually reduce its value. Instead, store it in a protective holder or a coin album to prevent further damage. Keeping your coin in a stable environment with controlled temperature and humidity will help preserve its condition for years to come. Remember, every coin has a story to tell, and maintaining its current state can be part of preserving that story. In conclusion, the 1928 Lincoln penny, with a large date and no mint mark in dirty condition, is a fascinating piece of history. While its market value may be modest, typically ranging from $0.50 to $2, its significance to collectors and historians is priceless. It's a tangible link to the past, and owning one is like holding a piece of history in your hand. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the 1928 Lincoln penny. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on the world of coin collecting.